Next, I'm going to invite, well, we had a speaker from Tunisia. Now we're going to have a speaker from Algeria that will tell us about her experience as the CEO of MTY Intelligent Software. Please join me in welcoming Ouafa Benterki.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Ouafa Benterki. Well, I'm sorry I didn't prepare a presentation because I'm not supposed to do that, but I will improvise, right? So, let me first present myself. Ouafa Benterki. I'm CEO of MTY Intelligent Software. I'm also, I was considered in 2012 as an emerging leader in technology by the Tech Women program organized by the Department of State for Women Emerging Leaders in Technology in the MENA and Africa. And I'm also a founder and a co-founder also of the African Forum for Open Source Software Promotion. Let me tell you how I started. Well, I graduated from USDHB. I know how many students from it. Wow! So I graduated from USDHB, which is I think it's a well-known university abroad, even easy. I think Algerian computer scientists are well represented abroad, and it's our proud. Well, first, after my graduation, you know, at the beginning you don't know, you are just graduated and you are looking after a job, any job. So I worked in the public office, and my first job was at the university in Babzoa. I was in charge of the information systems and network of the Faculty of Physics. This was my first job, and it was really amazing for me to work, to feel that I'm working at the university, even if it was not a great job, but for me it was something wonderful. Then I tried to learn, and the most important thing I want to advise you is read, learn. I had, at the beginning, my salary was, I remember it was 9,000 dinar. So it was very tiny amount. Sometimes it happened to me to buy a book with 7,000 dinar. So it was very important to me. Why I was buying books at that time? Because we didn't have the chance you have today, the internet access, and you have a huge amount of data. Just commit yourself and study. So then after the university, one day I wanted to move to another job. So and I put a target in my mind, and this time was an international firm. So at that time there was no vacancy. So I wrote my CV in a good English. Thank God I had all the time this English part. I had a good English, and I was passionate about this language. So I wrote my CV and reviewed my CV about 10 times and sent it by fax to maybe 20 companies, 20 international companies, and hoping that one of those companies will give me a feedback or call me. Then I wrote all my skills on my CV, so I wrote it in a good form, so that to make it easy for any person to understand and get, those important persons and those CEOs do not have too much time. So you have to get your target in a short time. So I sent my CV, and 2 days after, I was called by the department manager of the IT department manager of Halliburton company. And it was a Friday, and at that time I didn't realize that those companies work on Fridays. It was a petroleum company, and so the lady was talking to me. She told me, is that Ouafa? I said yes. She told me, it's Halliburton company, and I think you sent us, you did an independent application. I said, are you serious? So I didn't believe that they will call me, such important company will call me 2 days after. And I was hired, and instead of calling me to his office, the IT department manager, he was based in Hassi Masoud, and he came to Algiers, and he did the interview in Sheraton Hotel. And he didn't tell me that I was the only person who was interviewed. He told me you should have concise answers, and that we should take the best one. So think before to ask, to answer. Then I told him, how much time do I need to desperate? So at that time I was not really believing in interviews, because I did hundreds of interviews and they never called me back. So I told him, how many times do I need to wait? He told me, why? Do you have something else? I told him, no, but I don't want to wait. It's very difficult. I'm sure that many person of you knows this bad feeling. You are waiting that, was I good enough? Was I bad? You don't know, even if you had the right answer, but sometimes maybe your body language was bad, maybe, you never know. Sometimes it's not only the answer which is taken in consideration. Then I was hired in the department, and my IT manager told me after, I made 1,000 kilometers to meet you, because I was impressed that you were sure of your skills and you did an independent application. So it was first time. He told me in other countries it happens, but in Algeria they always wait for the vacancy open to apply. And when you wrote independent application, he told me, I wanted to see this lady who wants to apply and show us her skills. This was my first job then, and as I told you, I was in that time I did many job. I applied many times, and at the time I was recalled here to Algiers because I came back to Algiers because I was accepted. Before to go to Hassi Masoud, I was accepted. I was called by the office of the United Nations, HCR, the United Nations Refugee Office in Algiers, and they told me, you applied for IT manager job. I said yes. They told me you should come for the interview, and I did the interview, and I was accepted. So I want to say here that you should, sometimes you do, the more you do, the more interviews you do, the better it is. Because every time you gain experience and you know what was your mistake, what did you do and what you didn't, what you were, sometimes when you just, when you are out of the office, you remember, oh, I didn't tell him that I have this skill. I didn't tell him that I master English, I have some volunteering skills. So try to focus while you are doing your interview. This was my second work. Then I moved to public Algerian. I was an IT department officer, and then one day I decided to carry on my studies. So I decided the Arab Institute of Translation opened for first time, and it was the only time a position for to prepare a master in translation technology, which is a field which requires a knowledge in computer science and a full command of three languages: the Arabic language, the French, and the English language. Then this will lead to what you are going to learn is natural language processing, which is the application of the artificial intelligence to language processing. So the automatic language processing will lead to learn some techniques in the field of artificial language, and even you will be, it was the first time, by the way, I was involved in open source programming, and it was in 2008. So this is, I wanted to tell you here that I had a very good position. I was the IT department manager. I had a good salary, but at that time I had 24 hours to decide what is better for me. Do I have to leave my work? And it was because when I did the interview and was accepted by the institute, they told me that you can't carry on working because we need you full time here. So I had to give up on my work. And I had 24 hours to decide. So was it worth it? Do you give up on your work to go to study and start from zero? Because I was really starting from zero, because this field has nothing to have with IT management, with computer engineering, with system engineering, which was my, maybe it has something to have with development, but in general it has nothing, and I had nothing to do with translation. But I was interested, it was maybe my curiosity, and I was supported, fully supported by my family to take the decision I wanted to take. I will get back to the family support because it's very important. Then I gave up on my work. I left my work and get back to studies without any salary. I was committed only to studies. It's like if I get back 10 years ago. Though was the cornerstone. This way I changed my way into open source and into natural language processing. But when I committed myself, I told myself that it should be, I should do that. I mean, I did a big sacrifice. Losing your work is not, especially that it's a permanent job, and it was a manager. It was not a simple job. So I told myself that this sacrifice should be worth it, and I should do my best to not to regret this decision. Then I committed myself. I tried to learn. To earn new skills, to study the language, the English as a language. When I say that studying English as a language, not to study the language as as to speak English, but a language as to understand the engineering of the language. And you cannot understand the engineering of a language if you don't study it as a translator. So I became a translator. To understand my job, to understand my field of studies, I became a translator. So after 2 years, I had to prepare my master thesis. It was the first thesis in matter in Algeria. It was the first thesis in the field of statistical machine translation, and I worked under the supervision of a research laboratory in France. So we were two teams. In Paris there was a team, and in Algeria I was the team. So I committed myself to learn as much as I could. I was reading books. I was in different fields in order to be good enough. And so that the challenge I took on myself, on my own, it was a challenge on myself. I mean, I didn't challenge anyone else. I challenged my own knowledge. I wanted to know whether my commitment will be good enough. And then when I finished, I got my master thesis by the highest the highest grade ever that was given by this institute. It was 19.5 on 20. In this institute, they never gave this score before my master thesis. And then I started publishing, and then came the program of Tech Women, which is dedicated to women in technology, which try to select some women from the MENA region and take them to the Silicon Valley. They ask you to fill an application and say what you want to do. If you are selected, what are you up to? What can you do if you find yourself with CEOs, with important people with a scientific background in Silicon Valley? Then I explained that I wanted to be part of an expert team, and I wanted to check whether the knowledge I acquired here in Algeria was good enough to work with experts. I was not sure that I would be selected, but I told myself I have nothing to lose and everything to win. So I was selected, and I had my internship in Adobe. I was the first person from the Arab world to join this team, and I worked with what they call the intelligent team of Adobe. We had a project. I participated in the edition of the project because the project was made just for me, just to check my knowledge, and I wanted an independent part of the project. I told them, since this technology is the same that I use in Algeria, don't show me how. I just want to check whether I could finish my part by myself. So this was a very, very difficult challenge, but when I went to Silicon Valley, I tried to get back my knowledge and studied hard. And finally, I got it. Finally, I finished my project, and they were amazed. The person in charge, I wanted to say, let's say, an anecdote on this. The program, the Tech Women program, is supposed to be for women in technology. And our supervisors or our mentors are supposed to be women. And I was surprised that when I went to Silicon Valley, I was the only woman working on this technology. The other were men. So I was, and even this person, I mean the person who supervised my work, was all the time testing me. He was all the time trying to see whether I really master this technology. So sometimes this project has a very precise steps from 1 to 10. So you cannot, for instance, do the 10th step without performing very well. It's like something, all the steps are connected. You cannot move to the next step if you didn't succeed the first one. So sometimes he was telling me, let's go to the 4th. But I told him that, but we still have the step 2 and 3. And he was amazed. He told me, I'm testing you. Do you mind? I told him, no, I don't mind. Just test me as much as you can and as much as you want. I'm here to learn. And in fact, I was not there to challenge them. I was there to learn. So even if I encountered failure, it doesn't matter. The most important that to dare you have to dare to take challenges and then work hard that to turn things into your own. I mean that to take as much as benefit from your experience. Then once I was back to Algeria. First of all, I received a lot of compliments from the Department of State. We were honored at the Department of State. And the last day before to come back to Algeria, I was invited by the Oracle office in Washington, which was not supposed to be in the program, but they invited me to do a lecture on English-Arabic language processing. So once I was back to Algeria, I founded my startup, which is called MTY Intelligent Software. This startup is dedicated to language processing, automatic language processing, and we are offering services in the field of business intelligence and content localization. I want to say also that the co-founder of this startup is just recording the video, and she's my sister, and she's a physicist and committed to, and she's one of the causes of my achievements. I wanted to say as well that my family played an important role in my achievements, and I'm grateful to my mother and my father. And I want to I just want to encourage you to volunteer as well, because volunteering could open you some doors that you cannot imagine. Try to help each other. And I want to share you a news or something I just received today. I wanted to keep it for the last. This is a card I received from, in fact, they sent it a few months ago, but I just received it. It's from the Tech Women program, which is organized by the Department of State. And this this card was done for emerging leaders in technology from the MENA region and Africa. And they selected 54 women, and I was at the top of this. I want to tell you that you should be grateful to your parents. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We have enough time for maybe a question or two before we move to the next session. Does anyone have any questions? All right, let's try to make this really quick. We're behind time.
Very interesting, and thank you very, very much. What I learned from it is that the Algerians are very creative and going for the top. Very, very happy with that. And I'd like to really see the youth do the same thing. I hear so many obstacles that we cannot do this, we cannot do that. It is an example, okay? On n'arrive pas quelqu'un il est en Europe, en Amérique, etc. On ne peut pas faire. Technical question. I would like to know, very interested that you did the translation from Arabic to
English into Arabic.
When is the next time to give us, to take these students here to do the Tamazight to Arabic and English?
Well, I was invited, in fact, in the second channel, the Algerian second the radio channel, La Chaîne 2, and I talked about this issue. And in fact, in statistical machine translation, it's all about providing resources. For me, it's okay. My translation engine is able to translate, but you have to prepare a lot of resources, linguistic resources, for the language. We call it the source and target language. So the source language is the language from which you want to translate, and the second language is the language into which you want to translate. So for me, I just need the resources, linguistic resources. We call it, in computer science, we call them the linguistics corpora. Those are a collection of text, high-level text, that we cannot rely on any text, because this text will serve to train our translation engine. So we just need linguistics resources.
All right. Do you have any more questions? Last one.
Thank you. So my question is a bit technical. Did you find difficulties implementing the SEO in Algeria, especially you are not so much interested in intelligent softwares, and how did you, for example, sell machine translation to companies or to governmental institutes? Thank you.
Sorry, repeat your question.
Did you find difficulties selling services here in Algeria? Especially they are a bit new for us.
Well, yes, it was, at the beginning it was a challenge, because some people do not, when you talk about your project, especially when it's a cutting edge technology which is not famous or well spread here in Algeria. So some people were saying just call it software development, and others are saying just call it translation. And I told them no, it's the combination of both. So we we are doing content localization and machine translation, and this was a challenge to convince them. And at the beginning, my project was rejected, even it was well reputed abroad, and I was praised by so eminent persons. But it was rejected. Then I just had to attend the national, the first national startups exhibition in Oran, and there I met 3 ministers. I met the Minister of Labor and the Minister of Higher Education and the Minister of ITC. And when I talked about my project, there was wondering why it was rejected, and then they gave instructions so that the project was accepted. And this was the start of this was the birthday of my startup. I mean that don't expect that even if you have a wonderful idea, don't expect that people will accept it. Sometimes it's by ignorance. They don't know what you are talking about, and other time it's because they don't want to hear. So in both cases, keep working on your dream, keep working on your targets. And the last thing I want to say: sometimes you have to set your goals, but don't expect that it's a straight way. You can even segment your goals to finally reach the expected results.
All right, thank you.